everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Diva, and I'm back with another pick a card reading, as you can see, and three choices. And this reading is about the energies of May, so of this month, and I drew the cards on Beltane, on basically Beltane Eve, so the 30th of April. And because of all kinds of whatnot stuff, I didn't get around to recording it sooner. Partially my neck, and then my wrists, and then something else came up and whatever. And I decided, well, then it just has to wait. It is what it is, and now it's here. Sorry, but it does mean that the energy of Beltane, of that season, is in these cards, in the message. And also because Beltane, which is May Day, right? We know that. Well, not everyone maybe, but the May 1st is May Day, is Beltane. And that is a very, very old Celtic festival, beginning of the summer seasons. The Celts basically only had two seasons. The summer season, which starts at Beltane, and the winter season, which starts at Samhain, is better known as Halloween, so the end of October. So that means, the reason I'm telling you that is that the energies or the messages that you're gonna get might be ongoing for quite some time, maybe half a year. Could be if there's a lesson in there, things that you have to change or learn or whatever, then it's ongoing until you have learned that lesson, and then can step into possibly a different energy. But we'll see what comes up. I'm going to use the cards that you see at the back of the crystals now, which is from the Mists of Avalon Oracle, and smaller cards from the Whispering Woods. And then I'm also going to use a couple of Gilded Reverie Lenormand, and this is the expanded edition. So there are cards in that expanded edition that you do not have in a regular default Lenormand deck. So anyhow, three choices and three cards from each set as well. And they're horribly glossy, so when I tend to always move around a lot when I'm doing a reading, but when they're turned around, I hope it's going to be a bit less. Anyhow, the numbers 1 is a green opal from Madagascar. Numbers 2 is a beautiful chlorite crystal, and it's got rutile, whatever. I'm not certain now in English. Needles in it. It's really and beautiful rainbows and stuff. But that green here that you see is makes it a chlorite crystal. And then for the numbers 3, we have a blue Priselli stone from Wales. So, make your choice. Use the crystals, use the timestamp numbers, or use the cards that you see from your set, or from each set, and I'll see you at your reading. Right, numbers 1, your first card, we have King Arthur, as you can see from the Mists of Avalon deck, and this means that you will have to be like a king, meaning a leader, and rule. But in order to do that, you have to first be in control of your own life and bring order into your own life. And you will have to, like King Arthur, learn to be or be mindful that you are doing things that are good for you, but also for other people. Like he did that as well, right? He was a very good, righteous king. and he took very good care of his people and his knights and all that stuff. So he cared about other people. So if you do things, it's also important that you not only think about yourself, but also the effect it's going to have on other people. And but it is really important for you in May especially, but it might be something that's ongoing, as I explained at the beginning, that you just bring order and structure, more order and structure into your life, and know what you stand for, know what you want. Because if you for instance do not know that clearly, you might be all over the place. Then you do this, then you say that, then you do that, and then it might not help things go smoothly. And once you know what you do want, then you will not waver. You will be strong, you will be solid, and and then you can really dedicate yourself to something that you want to have, be, do, achieve, or manifest. And that is going to be very important for you throughout May and maybe longer even. And so basically that is claiming your power, taking leadership, being in control of your life. And the reason, well, let me put in the other cards first. We have from the Lenormand deck the anchor, the tree, and the this is one of the extra cards, the time card. And this is saying that time is going to be quite important. It could go fast, it could go slow. That depends on the other cards that we have with that. And both the anchor and the tree card are slow energy, meaning that you might be experiencing delays, things not working out really fast, things taking time, and that's why you have to be in control, and especially knowing what you want, what you stand for, what you're going for, right? Because if you start to wobble and waver as soon as things aren't going fast or not as fast as you would like it, then you're gonna possibly get distracted or sidetrack, etc. So you mustn't do that. Another thing that you must be mindful of is that you use the time that you have wisely. That's because of where is he? There, the owl that is there. Because time, even if you have so many build in one or whatever, it's a bit of an odd construction, isn't it? And time doesn't move backwards, right? It only ever moves forward. So also be mindful of that you use your time wisely. And that doesn't mean to say that you always have to be doing and working and efforting and all that stuff. No, it does not mean that. Using your time wisely is being very specific with your time, what you do, when you do it, how you do it, and you can still do that with feeling, right? With care from the heart. Just not wasting your time in that sense, right? But you can still enjoy your time then. You can still, like I said, do it from the heart. And also know when it's time for a break. So you can have fun or relax and recharge the battery. And especially important if things are not moving as fast as you would like them to, right? Because like I said, the anchor isn't fast, nor is the tree. But here again, you see the tree is very straight, is very solid, is really strong, solidly rooted. And both these cards are about safety and security. And if you, like King Arthur, have that inner strength, have this knowing of this is what I'm going for, this is what I want, then you're like that. Then you have that strength. Then you can wait and grow a solid, well, basically tree trunk as your inner strength, right? And root. is yeah, and at the same time also keep faith and hope, because that's also what anchor is about. Anchor is also that hope and faith. So if things are moving exactly the way you want it or as fast as you want them to go, then keep faith. So yeah, do expect things to not go as fast or easy as you would like them to go. There could be delays and things might not work out right away or might not seem to work out right away. Right? So then you have to have patience and faith and not not start wobbling, not get off kilter. Tap into your inner strength. And also here with the tree, the little birds, all these birds, and is a. I feel that's also like what I said with King Arthur. Arthur is he cares about others. He provides a home, a kingdom, a realm where other people can feel safe. He provides a seat at his round table for the knights to feel equal, to feel safe, to feel part of something. Well, you see that going on here as well, right? All these birds. It's not just for yourself. When you have your inner strength and solidity, you start being radiant and you start to shine, as you can see with the beautiful rainbow. And then others will also feel wonderful and welcome in your company. So let's see, did I have something else? Because these messages can often be so layered. Yeah, I also feel that if that might not be applicable to everyone, but I do feel for a number of you it will be. It might be important for you in May or in the coming months to make a decision of where you stand, or maybe even literally where you want to take root. Now that's with the tree, of course. As you can see, it has been growing in this place for a long time, right? If you look at the size of the tree trunk, but also with the anchor. The anchor, it's not clear in this image if it is on the, well, it is moving, but is it moving away from something, or is it moving towards something? It can be either, right? So I feel it's also it's because it is moving. I feel that that's actually what makes me feel that you haven't really rooted yet where you are right now. Otherwise, it would be underwater at the bottom of the sea, right? To hold you in place. And it's not, it's floating. So you haven't anchored yet. And that is actually quite important because of what came up with King Arthur, to decide, well, who you want to be, what you want to do, where you want to go, and what you stand for, and so on and so forth. And really embody that. And as you start doing that, the anchor will go down underwater and will hold you stable in place, right? Because the anchor is not supposed to float, and it's also in this image not attached to anything. So it's just basically like, yeah, as we say in Dutch, I'm not certain how you say that in English, but a loose projectile. And it's important now that you actually start to root, make decisions. And that can, as I said, it can be literally deciding like, okay, I want to live in this place, I'm going to stay in this place, or I'm going to move house, and etc. But it can also be with other things. That can also be applicable to a job, for instance, or a relationship, right? Whatever it is, it can be anything. That is also very important. And then we're going to look at your last couple of cards. And then we have a need for reading glasses again. I'll stick them in. Change. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. Yeah, so there might be some change required as well, or that automatically is going to happen when you start making decisions of yeah, who you want to be, where you want to go, where you want to anchor. And then and also what I feel with this message is that if things aren't moving as fast as you would like, then know that that is not the end. It's the beginning of a fruitful season. Some things might take a wee bit longer before they come above ground, right? Growth. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. Well, a very similar message as what I said just now. And again, an oak tree, right? This tree was also just a tiny little seedling, then a sapling, and look at it now. So yeah, that again comes up. And then we have your last two cards. We have dance and idle hours. It's not idle. I actually had to look it up on Google. It's idyll hours, and that means very, very happy, very good, very positive, and dance. Allow yourself to some fun each day, just as the sun dances with the moon each night. And idle hours, take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. So like I said with the time card, the Lenormand time card, using time wisely also means using time for enjoyment. Just that, maybe just doing nothing even. Nothing wrong with that. We do not have to be busy working, busy all the time. And maybe you are the kind of person that tends to keep themselves busy, even if just mentally reading, doing things online, and taking care of other people or whatever, then it might even be more important to just take just an hour a day, half an hour a day, like, okay, I'm gonna switch my phone off and I'm not gonna be behind my computer. I'm just gonna sit in the garden or my balcony or just whatever inside in your room and do nothing or have some fun. Very important. So think about that as well. So basically it comes down to dividing your time, spending your time, in a balanced way between work and must-dos and having fun and relaxation time for you. So this is the message I have for you, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, and have a wonderful May month. Great, numbers 2, your crystal. I was looking at your crystal, I'm sorry. Your card, we have the Tour, and I personally love the Tour, so I never mind. It's just such a beautiful place in England, in Glastonbury in England. With the Tour and the Michael's Tower on top of that. It's just it's wonderful. And your first card, it means that you for a lot of you, that it's going to be easy or easier for you to feel connected to spirit, to your higher self, to your intuition. But for others of you, I feel it's that you want to develop that, and that you are going to do things that are about your spiritual development. And for the ones that doesn't resonate with, then it might be that you go deeper into your spiritual development, more deeper layers, different tiers of that, or you are going to do things that one way or another add to your personal development. And spiritual development is also personal development, but yeah, it's not necessarily the same. So if you don't feel like you're going to do stuff on your spiritual development, then there are going to be things that will add or trigger your need for personal development. And for some reason, I feel that for most of you, it's that the personal development, and that can be related to anything. It can be related to situations, other people, but it can also be just an urge you feel on the inside to learn more or do more or become more confident or whatever. Right? Because there's a very broad subject, personal development. In any case, this is the main message. And as you can see, the tour, it has these paths, these lighter lines are pathways. It's a labyrinth of sorts that goes around the tour. And it takes quite some time to walk. In the olden days, the priestesses walked that as part of their training and etc. And that means it's not a straight road. And that's extra strong for you, that message, because we have labyrinths here with the Lenormand cards as well. That is an extra Lenormand card from the expanded edition. So you will not find this card in a default Lenormand deck. But since we have a labyrinth twice, the message that your road ahead in May and possibly for a bit longer, as I explained at the beginning, is a very strong one because it comes up twice. It might take you longer to get somewhere, to where you want to go, to who you want to meet, or whatever it is, whatever your goal is. But it's going to be a good journey. You're going to be protected. That's because we have the influence of Archangel Michael with the Michael's Tower on top of the tour. And it is going to be important that you persevere in a way, and that you don't give up and don't get discouraged, because along the way, when you walk that labyrinth, which whatever one it is, whether you might get distractions, you might get obstacles on your path, you might get sidetracks, and then having to decide, am I going to go that direction or not? Am I going to continue straight on? And you might actually have to go back a few steps to take another path because the one you chose turns out to be a dead end, and so it's not going to be a straightforward thing. But as long as you know what you want in the end, you will get there, right? And also remember, it's not for nothing that it's called the Mists of Avalon, right? So it might get a bit obscured in that sense. You might not even know at some point, like, which path am I gonna take? Did I actually make the right decision to start this path to begin with, right? And then just go back to what it was that you set out to do in the first place. Don't lose track of that. And especially with the other Lenormand card, the I'm not certain now what do you call them in English, the man. Now let's just call it the man. I haven't used my Lenormand cards in some time, but anyhow, this says for this reading that you have to stick to your own guns, stick to what you want or believe in, how you want it, what you want, and so on and so forth. So that's what I said. If you start to lose sight and start to question or doubt or whatever at some point when you're walking that labyrinth, then just go back to basics, go back to your initial original desire and goal of dream, what you want. And then maybe take some time, maybe just stand still for a moment, and then so refocus and feel that goal, that dream, and then you move on again. So, like I said, it's not going to be a straightforward path, and you will have to listen to your intuition, because we have this is a second birds card in this expanded Lenormand edition, and these are the owls, of course, as you can see. And the message of this owl bird card is different from the default bird card in Lenormand. This has to do with the energy of the owl, so wisdom, intuition, etc. So, and it's still communication, because the birds card is about communication, but it means for this reading that you have to listen to your intuition, follow your intuition. So if you at some point start to doubt or question or feel discouraged or lost or whatever, then that's what I said with the man card. Go back to basics, go back to that initial feeling and also your intuition. And also at the same time means that as you are walking the labyrinth, you also listen to your intuition, because that might help shorten the path to the middle, if that's where you want to go. I assume so, right? It looks like that this is the end goal of getting there. So it might help you to get there faster, or at least easier, maybe less obstacles, less distractions, and so on. And also there could be other people involved. I'm not certain if that goes for everyone. That might be for a number of you, because there are more people here in this card, and it could be that there are people looking for the same thing you are, or as good as, and then you might actually be able to support each other on that way. But it can also be that you meet other people who have different things in mind and that they just distract you. And then again, you will have to use your intuition to figure out what you're dealing with. Right? Because it's maybe some people that are in the labyrinth are on the same track, have the same thing in mind, and could actually be a support to you, while someone else who's in the labyrinth might actually be a distraction. Use your intuition, very important. That's going to be very important for you at least in May, really very important. And in the end, there is going to be happiness, because we have the stork. And there's a very happy card, very positive energy, just really happy. And as you can see, that one in here, this one is has its beak up, and they do that when they make that typical sound with that beak. The bottom and top halves, I'm not certain how you'd call that in English. They slap them closed together real fast, and it makes a really typical sound. You can, if you Google it, it's not Google, on YouTube, search it on YouTube, you can actually hear it. It's quite amazing. And they do that when the partner is coming home on the nest, right? Which that's their home. And as you can see, you're going to have that home in the end, and the sun is shining and building the home. And so it's a homecoming of sorts. It can be a literal homecoming, but it doesn't have to be. It's more likely going to be a sense of homecoming on the inside. Like I said, it's going to be about personal development or your spiritual development. And in the end, you're going to have that sense of Yes, I got it. I'm there. Oh yes, that glorious, positive, happy feeling that you want to dance, and it's gonna be wonderful. And let's look at your last couple of cards, and then so we have clearing and flow. Make room for growth. Go with the flow as water trickles down a stream. Do not hurry. You can't hurry, right? I think that was clear with the labyrinth. If you're gonna hurry, you're gonna trip. So don't do that. Just take your time to walk that labyrinth. It might just take, it might take just time, right? Like the labyrinth around the tour. I believe that if you walk that, it takes a couple of hours. And so don't hurry. Just take the time that is necessary. There is no set time. It's not like 3 months, a week, a day. It takes as long as it takes. Be okay with that. Accept that. And make room for growth. Well, that will come as you walk that labyrinth, as you are undertaking this development, the spiritual or personal development, right? That is, then you automatically clear out stuff so the new can come in, the growth. And then with the last card is stay as strong as evergreen trees, resilient. And that's what you're going to have to be. You're going to have to be resilient to see it through. Like I said, you can't hurry, you can't rush this along. And it's just going to take time. And that's okay. If we're talking about personal development, we're talking about personal growth, spiritual growth and development, that takes time. You can't force that. You can't will that. You can't achieve that within a day. It simply takes time. So, and that doesn't mean you have to give up or whatever, or start thinking like, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'm not going to make it. That's why we also had the Michael's Tower to say that you are protected and that you have no reason to doubt anything. Right, so this is what I have for you. I hope it's going to be helpful, and I'm wishing you a beautiful month of May and season and summer season until winter, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Number 3, your first card is the Priestess of Avalon. Sorry, isn't that a beautiful card? I just love it with the full moon, and it's absolutely beautiful. And for this reading, the message of this card is that it's time for you to be who you truly are and not how other people want you to be or need you to be, or basically almost as if you have been changing yourself to fit a mold, because then it's easier for other people, then it's time to stop that and to start throwing off that cloak, because that basically isn't really you. So throwing off that cloak and standing tall in your power, like the Priestess of Avalon, and like, here I am. This is who I truly am, and this is who I'm going to be from now on. And then being strong in that as well, right? Like, look at that priestess. If someone else tells her, yeah, but you can't do this, or you're not so good at blah de blah or whatever, she's not gonna wobble on the inside. She knows who she is, and she knows what she stands for. And if other people don't like it, well, then so be it. You can't please everyone. And you can't be whatever everyone wants you to be. You're just you. And that's for you the main message, I actually can't add anything to it anymore. I'm going to, don't worry, but this is really so strong. And it comes back in the other cards that we have as well. First of all, we have the moon card from the Lenormand. And this is also about reputation. So how other people see you, perceive you. And then there is this other layer to the priestess card, because it's not necessarily being who other people need you to be, but also how you present yourself to make your life easier. That can also be the case. Doesn't have to be like that for everyone, but for some it might also be that way. And in a way, we sometimes all do that. Put on a happy face, for instance, and when we go out and about, when we go to work, while deep down we're actually not happy at all. That's already sort of creating the image, oh, she's always happy, she's always funny, she's always joyful, and then you get the reputation. That's just a silly example, but there's more things like that where we actually subconsciously or consciously present a different image from who we actually truly are, because it's easier. Oftentimes it's easier, so you do not have to explain things and or defend yourself or all that stuff. But then if you recognize that, you also have to stop doing that. Right? This is about the reputation, so this goes perfectly well with what I said here. And your reputation should be exactly the same as who you are, and not some other image, right? Not a projection, an external projection, and that's pleasing to either you or other people. Your reputation, your image should be who you are, and let that shine. And it comes up yet again with this card, the Well, which is another extra card in the expanded Lenormand deck. And this also is about going deep. Like a well is really, really deep, right? Otherwise you can't get clear water. And so this also, this bucket and the rope that's attached to it, it also represents you. And so you have to drop that bucket all the way down to your, basically your inside, and delve up the gems of who you are, what you stand for. And you might find stuff that you don't even really know yourself anymore, because you haven't really been that person, haven't embodied that aspect for quite some time. So it's really about you going deep within and shining from the inside out. No more masks, no more pretense of, just being you, radiant you. And now this is where it gets interesting, because there's always a set that is more, tricky is a big word, but sort of like that. We have the letter and we have the clover. The letter is a neutral card. The clover is a positive card, right? Lucky clover, 4-leaf clover, shamrock. It's just a very positive card. And for this reading, it says that it brings inspiration and hope, because your life might, in actual fact, change quite drastically if you start becoming yourself. Maybe you have never really been yourself and projected that out into the world, right? And so things might change quite a bit in your life for the better. but it might take some getting used to. But this brings inspiration, it brings hope, and I've, you will also start to exude that. You will start to inspire other people once you are really who you really truly are, right? And so that's absolutely great. But for you, it might be a bit scary at first to do that, to let go of all the cloaks and masks and all that stuff. And then the clover also tells you to take that leap of faith and to do it anyway. To not be afraid of any shifts and changes that might come when you start doing that. You know, it's basically like you always put your hair up your entire life, and all of a sudden you're gonna let your hair down, right? And then you can, oh my God, what are people gonna say and what are gonna think, and oh my God, well, just take a leap of faith and just bloody do it. And yeah, and the letter card, I must admit, that's not my favorite card because it is about paperwork, papers, written communication, and usually it's the slower communication because we see a letter, land mail, snail mail, right? It usually doesn't go as fast as email or a WhatsApp or a text message. So it could be, usually is something that isn't instant, like a text message. But it can be anything that's written. It can also be email. It can be a contract. It can be maybe you like to write. Maybe you're a writer or a blogger. It can be an advertisement. It can be an offer that you're going to get. And for some reason or other, when I was focusing on that card just now, I saw clover, four-leaved clovers on the outside edge of the letter. So whatever it is, I feel it's going to be very positive. So it could be that you're going to get an offer, maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, whatever this means, it is positive. And I can't really say anything more about that letter card because that's easier in a personal reading. But since this isn't, I can only leave it at this. It can be a newsletter, it can be getting a contract that you've been waiting for, maybe get tax money back, any kind of offer. Or, as I said, it can also be that you like to write and you like to blog or are writing a book or whatever. Whatever it is positive. Positive news. It can be an invitation as well, by the way. Or a response. Maybe you're waiting for a reply, a response from something, or some organization or some person. Well, then that's this letter. And let's see, let's look at your last cards. We have woods. Be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. Well, yeah, that goes straight back to this and all the other cards that were about you being truly you, right? And the priestess of Avalon is also like this. She's a soothing presence. She's mysterious. That's feminine energy. That's also what that message was about. The priestess of Avalon is also about feminine energy, embodying your feminine energy. And the feminine is mysterious and it is full of life and is at the same time calm and soothing. And so be like that. And do not be deterred by the thorns amidst the roses. Forbearance. or the thorn, just one. Yeah. And it's important also to stay grounded, keep your roots, and stand taller than the trees. And I feel that has to do with what I said just now. Like, it might at some point here and there be a wee bit scary if things are changing in your life, because you are now showing who you really are and starting to be and live and present yourself for who you really are. Then yeah, don't do that. Don't get afraid, don't wobble. Be grounded. Ground yourself. And reconnect. Secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. And that doesn't have to be scary either, you know? We had the other message here. Be like the woods. Calm, soothing, mysterious, full of life. Well, the woods automatically also come with denser, darker spots. That's part of the woods. And that's okay as well. So it can be a bit mysterious. And again, there is this fear of maybe change or not knowing what you're gonna get and knowing what you have, and try to let go of that by grounding and accepting that is part of life. You know, it's there's always gonna be some shadows here and there. And there's always going to be maybe a thorn in something really pretty. And yeah, are you then going to be afraid and avoid that good stuff because there could be potentially a thorn somewhere? Or are you just going to take the risk and enjoy life to the fullest? I feel that's basically what this is saying in a way. Because shadows deep in the woods with secrets, well, Lord knows how beautiful that is. Might not be anything to be afraid of. You know, and if it isn't something good, well, then you just walk around it, or you just walk away, or trust yourself. Trust your intuition to know what you're dealing with. Right? But just I feel it's more the message more important that to know and accept that life is not just always pleasant. There's always stuff that we don't like so much. Like there's always shadowy parts in the woods, right? And that's just part of life. And then you can lock yourself indoors and throw away the key, but then you're not living life anymore. So don't do that. If you're grounded and connected, you can handle it. Look at this woman. Look at this priestess. I mean, bloody hell, she can... I'm sorry, excuse my French, but still, she can handle anything. She will manage because she knows who she is. She's strong, she's empowered, and she will just deal with it one way or another. And so can you. So believe in yourself, trust in yourself. That's very important as well. So this is what I have for you. I do hope it's helpful. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you again soon. And I'm wishing you a wonderful month of May. Bye.